tires, and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th.
I'm sorry, I don't speak deals.
Spend less, save more when you buy Round Black things from us.
Oh, got it.
Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. With state-of-the-art motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation. Our seatbelt-equipped buses have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
Edmonton Elks Indigenous Celebration is back, presented by No Frills. September 27th versus the Saskatchewan Roughriders, featuring Indigenous dance and drum halftime performances, pre-game makers market, and the unveiling of our brand new Indigenous gear. Tickets at goelks.com.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Ford employee pricing is on now, and you pay what we pay on the Ford you want. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca today.
Score an A+ deal on 5G Ultra Home Internet from Explore. Switch to incredible internet speeds and get a $100 gift card for a limited time. Upgrade today at Explore.ca.
There's something we need to talk about: debt. It's an uncomfortable topic, but the truth is, most of us carry some form of debt, and we are ashamed to talk about it. My name is Parveen Middleton, a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. Every day, people struggling with debt come to me for a solution. When you make that call, I'll listen to your story without judgment and will lead you to a debt-free future. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca.
You need the lowdown? It's with Lowetide right now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, Oilers win last night, play the Kraken at Rogers Place tonight, and McDavid Draisaitl Frederick line will debut. Should we call it the McDryrick line? McFredidle? Sprained my tongue on that last one. I guess we have time. The Lowdown brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Employee pricing continues on the entire lineup of 2025 Sierra trucks. Details at wolfgmcbuick.com. We are live on YouTube and Sports 1440 AM radio. Also, iHeartRadio online, sports1440.ca online, and Radio Player Canada. We are everywhere. And then after the show, Apple and Spotify podcast, we tweeted out on X. Blue Sky, we're sorry. We just don't have any, there's no time. So, like, if you're on Blue Sky, some breaks. We're on Twitter at Lowetide, Declan Krueger, J Fenwick 04, Sam W 1440, Liam P7, Brennan Clack, NHL Update, Larry, Mervin, and Scotty also. Text or call us at 833-401-1440. That's 833-401-1440. Our guest today, this is Wednesday, so it'll be Kevin McCurdy. And, of course, we'll have declinations as well. Lots to talk about. We're going to go round and round on that top line in two shakes of a lamb's tail. First, though, it's the introductions. Based on his pronunciation of Vasily Podkolzin's name on the air yesterday, he may be the only man in radio or in broadcasting who has a tougher time with hockey players' names than I do. That isn't good. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sam Wilness. Sam Wilness.
Hello.
Sam, just for the class now, could you just run that Vasily Podkolzin pronunciation by us?
Vasily Podkolzin.
Say it again.
Vasily Podkolzin.
Very good. Now, it's okay if you have trouble with the next one. I once almost was kicked out of the radio industry because of Victor Faust's presence. Just so you know.
Faust the prisons?
Yeah. Victor Faust. Fasth. Faster than lightning. It was a thing. All right. He's a modern Mother Teresa. Spent yesterday fixing drawers for her co-workers and buying drugs for his roommate. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick buying drugs. That's you.
Yeah. Not like I went out there and bought illicit substances.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
I went out and gotten Tylenol and Advil, and I picked up soup, and then we made tacos.
What are you doing with my hair? My hair's wrong again.
Them's the breaks, kid.
I washed it, and look what happened. It's crazy.
Them's the breaks.
All right. Final introduction. He don't play football, but he's got touchdowns everywhere. Everywhere? Everywhere. He don't play baseball, but hits home runs everywhere. Everywhere? Everywhere. It's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger, everybody.
It's funny that Josh said he wasn't buying illicit substances, then went on to list Tylenol,
Yeah.
which we now know, courtesy of RFK and Trump, causes autism. By the way, did you see Trump trying to pronounce acetaminophen?
Well, it's hard.
It was.
I would never try it.
He's actually the funniest guy ever. He is so. Did you see him talking about Pete Buttigieg?
His prompter didn't.
His
work.
husband drives to work on his bicycle, which, to be fair, is a nice, loving relationship. Like, he's so funny.
Listen,
he's the funniest guy ever.
Listen,
my computer doesn't work.
The prompter didn't work for the president, so it was a thing. He riffed.
Basically he messed up acetaminophen twice. Had someone in his ear tell him what it was, surely, and then I have to think when they were going over the speech, there was mention of don't directly, don't say Tylenol, and he just said it, and he said it with a lot of vigor.
Yeah,
Tylenol.
Yeah, but I mean, it's in the moment, and wait till tomorrow.
Right.
So don't worry about it. All right. So I want to go here because last night I thought the Edmonton Oilers played a whale of a hockey game. And there are several people that I want to talk about. Ike Howard scored a nice goal, lovely pass from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I don't know if Kapanen's the right winger on that line, but Ike Howard looked good to me. I also thought Savoy looked good. I was not as impressed with Henrique on that line, and I worry a little bit that Savoy is going to get buried. Noah Philp had a great game. He really did. He reminded me of Kyle Brodziak. I wrote about this at the time. On the night of September 17, 2007, Kyle Brodziak was a prospect. And Craig McTavish was the coach, and there was a pile of centers and wingers, young guys trying to get jobs in the NHL. And that night, Brodziak announced his presence with authority. He scored twice, had an assist, played 16 minutes, over 2 minutes on the PP and PK. A team that badly needed responsible two-way forwards saw one arrive that night. And I thought Noah Philp, I'm not saying he's going to be Kyle Brodziak. Kyle Brodziak played a lot of games in the National Hockey League. But Noah Philp is a player, I think, who is NHL ready. We'll see how it goes. Curtis Lazar is here. There's lots of other options, but I like the way he played. I also want to just mention very briefly Quinn Hudson, who looks like a fine two-way player. He'll go to Bakersfield, but he could be recalled at some point in the season, and he might have a career. There are some things, I'm not saying he's a direct comparable, but there are some things about him and Fernando Pisani that line up in terms of age and development. Atro Lepinen is a Finnish defenseman we didn't know about. We knew he had big numbers, but usually if a European has big numbers in Europe and he's a defenseman, then he's all chaos all the time. Doesn't look like Lepinen's that guy. I was very impressed with him. Did you guys watch the game at all? Do you have any opinions on anything I said, or can we move on to the next?
I did not watch the game.
Was there basketball on?
There was no basketball on.
Okay.
Well, there was WNBA playoffs, actually. Let me correct myself. Saw the highlights. Saw Philp with the 2 primary assists there.
Beautiful.
Thought he looked good. I thought he looked crisp packing the...
Yeah.
I don't know. When you think of Noah Philp, do you think of him as a good, clean, crisp passer? Because that was never the first thing that came to mind with me. But he was making the right, and the decision making that comes with making the right passes. I was impressed.
Well, I've watched him a lot in the AHL, and that is the player he is. He's a right-handed center. Centers in the American Hockey League are invaluable because they help develop young wingers. But I don't honestly think that, and I know Bob's mentioned this at times, I don't think he'd clear waivers. I think they're going to have to make a decision about Lazar or Philp. I think Philp makes the team or is traded or is lost on waivers.
Yeah, if Raph Lavoie got claimed, I think Noah Philp is definitely going to get claimed. And Specs made this point as well, and I do agree with it. With Noah Philp, we talked about it. He's not that young. Like he's
No.
20. It's time to kind of
Yeah.
go from prospect
yeah.
to player.
Right.
This is the time to do
He's
it.
sort of like you and your radio career.
For sure.
You know, I mean,
One
you,
and the same.
You can compare yourself to these 20-year-olds, but really, you know,
Yeah.
TikTok, baby.
No, don't get me wrong. Well, listen, you know how to speed this process up. You hit the retirement home, but
Listen, all you have to do is push me over the balcony, and
my conscience wouldn't be clean.
I collect the insurance.
Because I think some people probably think his Curtis Lazar is a more stereotypical fourth line player.
No.
But I think the upside with him is much higher than Curtis Lazar.
I washed my hair this morning, and I can't do a thing with it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a little mullety.
Like I feel like it's. Do
you want to give us one of these?
It's flaccid.
Yeah, do you gel it?
No, I don't.
No gel, no paste.
I have some goop.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Like some got to be.
But it just makes my hair high.
Yes, but you didn't put that in today.
I don't have the drugs that Josh has, so I can't afford to make my hair high very often.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's a good.
Do you like have a Do you have like a tickle trunk full, or how do you work that?
A tickle trunk full of what? Drugs?
Yeah.
Yes. Classically,
Okay.
it sits on a little chest on Brandon and I's front step, and we just go out there and we get it.
You kids today.
Yeah.
I mean, you're brazen. Cracking tonight. Looking forward to it. I want to talk about this. We talked about it yesterday. I want to talk about it. McDavid, Draisaitl, Frederick is the top line. And I thought about it yesterday. I've come to the conclusion. We talked about it yesterday. Maybe this is what McDavid wants. Maybe the coach decides that he doesn't like the summer work by Stan Bowman. And I had one other thought. So these are the three choices you have. Give me yours. This is McDavid's wish. The coach decided that Andrew Mangiapane could help push the river with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and say Matt Savoy, or the coach just was not impressed with Mangiapane and all the summer moves by Bowman, and he wants to load up until Hyman gets back.
That's a good question. I probably tend to lean the former. But that said, even if I do believe it's the former, like the latter, he's rolling it. What were they?
They were McDavid wants this,
right?
They believe Mangiapane can be a second line player and push the river with Nuge.
Yes.
And the third one is that
he wasn't
the
impressed
coach
by the moves.
Coach is rejecting the work of Stan Bowman.
Well, I think it's the second.
Okay.
I thought you were anyway. But my point being is, even if I believe it's the second, which I do,
2-hour show.
Well, and we're at 11 minutes, not a good start. Even if I believe it's the second, which I do, the third, even if the second is the reason for your decision, the second reason, wanting to play Mangiapane or thinking he's a second line player playing with Nuge and Savoy, the third line, you're still doing that. You're still going against his wishes, or going against his moves, I should say.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I just felt like this was so easy. You go McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge, Henrik, or Noah Philp, or Curtis Lazar. Those are your four centers up the spine. You've got a great defense. You've got a new goalie whisperer. Now on the wings, you have, you can run Mangiapane. You can run Savoy. You can run Ike Howard, who, by the way, scored a big goal last night. Really nice pass from Nuge.
Yep.
This feels like, and I mean, we're early on. This is the first, I know the Calgary games, the back-to-backs on the same night, those are like the lid lifters. But last night was the first time we really got a chance to see these cats play, and I was very impressed with the Oilers' play. I liked a lot of the things. They were getting a lot of pressure from Winnipeg, but they were outletting to a point where they could, not on every play, because they didn't have all their skill guys, but they were able to make plays, and they were able to catch all three forwards because the puck had gone beyond them. That's what you want. You want to turn every 3-on-2 that they have into a 3-on-2 your way. And last night, especially Emberson, I thought was impressive. I also liked Leppinen a lot, I have to tell you. Very quickly, Jays are slipping. Now, they've made the postseason. How worried are you that the Yankees come in and win the division? Any thoughts on that?
Not really much of a baseball. I'm a Reds fan, and I'm not really a baseball guy.
Well, I have a Reds question in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
There we go.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
But you're naturally nervous.
Not particularly. I think I'm relatively calm most of the time.
A lot of anxiety.
You probably have it right in front of you. How many games back are the Yanks right now?
1, I believe.
1. Yeah, that's not great. Especially because I think Kevin was talking about it on the morning show this morning. I think as of late, the Jays are hitting like 160.
They're not scoring more than 1 run in a game.
And they have 2 home runs in the last I don't know, week and a half or something like that, which is bad. It's particularly when you've had the hottest bats all season and then all of a sudden it just cools off. So
this is sucktastic.
It's sucktastic. This is not what you want going into Sucktober.
Did you want to say something, Sam?
Yeah, I'm particularly worried also just because comparing the teams they're going up against, the Blue Jays are going up against the third team in the AL North division or whatever division the Blue Jays are in. And then
AL East.
The AL East. And then the Yankees are going up against the worst team in baseball, the White Sox.
Yeah, and they had lost that damn game, and then in the ninth inning, 2 out, a fool play by the White Sox, and they end up. What are we doing? What kind of handiwork is our friend doing? Does anybody control the movements of Declan, or does he just do what the hell he wants?
I'm kind of like those inflatable tube guys. I do what I want, how I want it. And you might not always appreciate it, but it's a spectacle and you're going to watch.
Somebody's had a little too much Tylenol.
So you're saying to me that you're the flamin' thing that out on the highway that goes moving around? Okay.
The wacky inflatable tube, the RV world guy.
I can see you doing that except being in the suit.
Yeah.
Boy, my arms are tired.
I just imagine someone listening being like, this show sucks.
Oh, I think that happens quite a lot.
I think you're right.
HVAC Nick says, worried because I'm trying to get to the ALDS next weekend and waiting on booking my flight still. Yankees are probably going 4-1, so Jays need to go 3-2 to hold on. Who has the tiebreaker? Must be the Jays.
Jays do.
Yeah. Hey, Lowetide, wouldn't the coach be in with the GM during free agency and have his input as well? I can't see as not liking the GM's work, just my 2 cents. But here's this thing, JC Glacier. I can tell you, I watched it and I read the notes. Todd McClellan was not all in on Griffin Reinhart. Todd McClellan was not all in on Jessa Puljujarvi. These things do happen. The GMs do go do that.
That's what I was going to say. GMs and coaches are actually at odds probably more than you would think.
Right.
It's not frequent, but it happens more than you would think it should for two people in those positions in an organization.
And Mac T used to do it too. Like there'd be a first rounder like Yanni Rita, and he would never trust them. Meanwhile, Fernando Pisani was like, oh my God, this guy is me. Mac T loved players who were like Mac T. And the first rounders like Robbie Schremp and whomever, Mark Pouliot, they didn't have as much of a chance. Now, having said that, I will give Craig McTavish all kinds of credit. He uncovered some great, great players from the depths of the drafts that the Oilers had. Pisani was a far better player than Schremp or Pouliot or Yanni Rita. No doubt about that. So I give him credit. But there is a bias. Often the coaches want, what do they want? They want risk averse. And these two kids they have, Savoy's, they're talking about him running on the fourth line now. That I don't think that's conducive. I think they pushed Jessa Puljujarvi, but he was 18. This young man, Savoy, is like 21. It's go time, baby. Like it just is. Mandelbaum.
Yeah, like sometimes the GM will build a team that he really feels like is constructed as a winning roster, and the coach won't like it and feels like he has to coach for his job with the roster that's given.
Yeah, and I have no doubt that Knobloch is under tremendous pressure. Somebody mentioned that yesterday.
I don't think he's coaching for his job, but he's definitely under pressure. Like any coach, like it's not Knobloch specific. Any coach of this Oilers team with this roster and McDavid and Draisaitl, and if you want to throw Bush and Nurse with their pay with their numbers on there, they'd be under pressure.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just did.
Well, you can interrupt whatever.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being what the hell are you talking about, and 10, yeah, I think that's right. How much do you think this quick start, McDavid with Draisaitl, has to do with Connor McDavid and the contract?
Yeah, people bring that up a lot. I would say
1 to 10.
I know. I 5. I don't know. It maybe 4.
But see, even I think 5 is significant.
Yeah, I would agree. But this is the other thing. Like, what did he say after the Stanley Cup Finals? Like, how many times were we banging our head in the wall doing the same thing? Like, this seems like a extension of that. This line.
Well, I'll say that, like,
because here's the other thing.
In the last 3 years, Draisaitl and McDavid together have a 64% goal share. It's nuts. They're so damn good. They're the best in the league. And McDavid away from Draisaitl is 55%. Draisaitl away from McDavid is 57%.
Still very good.
Yeah. Now, without Leon Draisaitl and McDavid, this team is 46%. That's
the problem.
Right.
That is the problem.
And you can say, in the playoffs they did, that's a small sample. The last 3 years, 45.6% when both men are off the ice. That's not good enough. guys it isn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
But having said that, Knobloch has done a lot of good things. Maybe he thinks Mangiapane, Nugent Hopkins, and Hellman, I don't know who, but maybe Matt Savoy can do some things. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And he might be right. And that would be awesome. That would be great. But
Hard
here's
to
the
see
other
from
thing.
here.
I don't think a slow start, is going to make or break what Connor does with his contract extension.
Am I losing
They've
my
had
hair?
slow starts before and made the Stanley Cup Finals. They lost to the San Jose Sharks, made Gregor grow his hair, and made the Stanley Cup Finals that same year. Like, it's not about what happens in October, November. Always, it's about the end of the season.
I think I'm losing my hair. What are you doing to me on YouTube, Josh?
I think it looks fine. I think it looks good, actually. Like, I've always liked your hair.
I'm thinking of wearing a hat. Oh, stop it. Come on over there. I think it's good we don't turn your microphone on. Best part of the show. All right, there's lots to talk about. Coming up, we have rumors. We also have Kevin McCurdy at 1 o'clock. I want to find out what he thinks about this whole McDavid Draisaitl thing and how that works. And then we're going to talk about last night's game because I think there were a lot of very impressive players. Declinations coming up at 1:40 today. What can we feature on that, sir?
Well, it is Wednesday, so it's time for Declan CAA.
Okay, so we're talking about Oregon.
Yeah, huge week of college football this week. Huge week. Penn State, Oregon, and Bama, Georgia.
Right.
But I'm going to the Riders Elks game with my dad, so I'm going to have to record them and watch. I'm going to honestly get back from the Riders Elks games, watch the Oregon Penn State game first. That'll probably take me to about midnight, and then I'm going to watch the Bama, Georgia game till probably about like 3 a.m.
Is Notre Dame not playing?
Notre Dame. Who do they play this week? Arkansas, and that's actually Arkansas.
You should watch
is,
that.
I don't watch 1 and 2 teams that are ranked in the AP top 25. Actually, zinger. Burned you. Gotcha.
Wow.
You know what though? Arkansas, I've been very
Razorbacks.
The Razorbacks. Sorry, not Arkansas. Notre Dame. I've been very consistent with my take that even if they win out, 10-2 won't be good enough.
No,
especially
I
if
agree with
Texas.
you.
But I'm starting to kind of buy into the narrative of, but hold on, they're Notre Dame. Like that's been playing in my mind a little bit more frequently lately. Like the fact they're 1 and 2, and
so is this kind of like because Jesus?
No, but they probably are a top 25 team, respectfully. But I just don't think you can be 0-2 and ranked in the top 25 or ranked or give up like however many points they gave up last week. Who'd they play? My point being is like they haven't shown resume wise they're a top 25 team, but the fact that they stayed there at 0-2 and moved up after a win where their defense gave up 30, it makes me think if they do go 10-2 and win out, they'll be there.
So you're saying they're not a top 25 team, but they're not a top 25 team.
They probably are a top 25 team in the country based on skill. They shouldn't be there at 0-2 or 1-2 when their defense gives up 30 to a bad team.
All right, 12:21. Sam, we offended the clergy, the American government. Have we done enough? Should we take a break?
We should probably take a break.
Okay. All right. On the way, rumors. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
September, back to class and back to carting the kids around. Good news. Until the end of the month at Wolf GMC Buick, get GMC employee pricing on all remaining 2025 GMC Sierras, so you'll have loads of room. Plus, get 0% financing on Sierra light-duty crew cabs. If you're eyeing up an SUV, we have the completely redesigned GMC Terrain and our entire Buick family with incredible prices. And Costco members up to $1,200 additional off the price. Come see us, corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Hi, I'm Jeff Davison, CEO of the Prostate Cancer Center. September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Here in Alberta, 1 in 6 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. But if caught early, it's one of the most treatable forms of cancer. The Prostate Cancer Center is committed to saving lives by providing free PSA blood testing on our man van, Alberta's only mobile men's health clinic. This September, talk to the men in your life about getting checked for prostate cancer. A simple blood test could save a life. Visit getcheck.ca to find a clinic near you.
Blue Jays fans, this weekend and every weekend, you can catch Toronto Blue Jays ball games right here on Sports 1440. Ben Schulman provides the play-by-play. You provide the chips and beer. Check out the Blue Jays this weekend on Edmonton's home for sports. Sports 1440.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and you'd think that as a used RV expert, I'd be a real do-it-yourself guy. Oh, I know all the dirty and grungy stuff that has to be done to keep your quality used RV healthy, and I actually don't like doing it. That's why I hired a whole service team at No Bull. I get to talk about it on TikTok, and they get their hands dirty.
Gotta be some perks to being the boss, Rick.
That's right, Bob. It's only fair that I share it with everyone, which is why we created our Camp Ready Club. Here's how it works. For one low monthly cost of just $30, we'll do your spring opening, fall closing, and all your regular scheduled maintenance on your used RV.
Plus, club members get priority discounts and perks as well.
You know it, Bob. Camp Ready means you've got everything you need. But if you require service or repair during the peak summer season, Camp Ready members go to the front of the line to get you back to the great outdoors faster.
And that's No Bull. NoBullRV.ca.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Employee pricing continues at wolfgmcbuick.com. 1225. We're a little low on prep today. We had been told there was a rapture and we wouldn't need any, but we're working as hard as we can. It is time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. Great Canadian Solar has been helping homeowners and businesses harness the power of the sun for 15 years. Invest in solar and yourself. GreatCanadianSolar.com. So last night's game was, I thought, an exceptional game by young Edmonton Oiler hopefuls. And that includes Leppinen, who really impressed me on defense. I liked Savoy. I liked Ike Howard. I thought Noah Philp was the best player in the game. And even Prokop, who's like an AHL signing, looked good to me. The young players last night were all that and a bag of chips, I thought. And we'll see how they look tonight. I'm going to give you the lines now. We talked about McDavid with Draisaitl and Frederick. And second line is Lazar with Janmark and Quinn Hudson, who played last night. Not Lane, but Quinn Hudson played last night. And I thought he looked very good. Really nice tip in. That's an NHL caliber goal. Tomasic with Mangiapane and Järventie. That's an interesting line. I'm looking forward to seeing that because Tomasic is a guy who can shoot the puck. I don't know if he's a center, but Järventie, if he's healthy, he'll push. And Mangiapane, to me, he was my choice, and I still think he will end up playing with McDavid at the beginning of the season. Szymanski with Hamblin and Klattenberg, who's been all that. He's been really good, a big-time hitter, and he can move, and he's got pretty good hands. So he's not a Zach Strattini, although he could play a rugged role for this team in the future. Defense is Ekholm, Bouchard, Lappinen, Regula. Lappinen playing again tonight. And then Millman, Akey, Skinner, and Johnson are the goaltenders. That's what you're going to see tonight. Very interesting group. Like it a lot. I am a big fan of Trent Frederick. So I think this line could go. I don't know if Frederick's going to be the goal scorer, but I think he can get in there and stir things up. I don't know how many goals he would score. He might end up being the Wayne Cashman of the Esposito Hodge line, but I like the idea of the line. I hope it has great success, but I will confess to being a little worried about what happens when they're off the ice, not tonight, but during the regular season. I think it's important. Training camp cuts are already hitting not anybody that you'd know about because it's so early on, but they are hitting. One of the players sent out, Sam O'Reilly by the Tampa Bay Lightning. O'Reilly, a former Edmonton Oilers first-round pick, sent away because of the trade for Ike Howard, which, by the way, Howard looked really good last night. I thought he was exceptional, and hopefully more of that continues. Anything in one of the things that we haven't gotten to, and we could, if you thought it was important, Declan, we could get daily NFL injury updates because the Eagles have Nolan Smith and Jacarian Bennett on IR. So, and that's just like two guys, and I happen to be, a fan of the Eagles, so I'm worried about Brandon Graham retiring,
Right.
and now this. But every day there's a pile of injuries, right?
Yeah, well, like the NFL, if you wanted to do like NFL injury updates, you could just do 2 hours on that.
Yeah.
Like someone's always like people are always hurt. It's such a violent physical sport.
Yeah,
Like, it's
well,
impossible.
And I know that by Thursday it's like,
kinda like-
he's not practicing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Tour de France without EPO. Like it's tough to go through a season without injuries.
Or tough to go through the season without looking into the garbage cans for what they're doing. Do they do that anymore?
I don't know, probably.
No.
But yeah, like I mean, CD Lamb, I think what is it? It's going to be 3 to 4, 1 to 2 minimum. James Conner, like I'm looking at just you go through the team's injured list here, and it's like 10 people, no matter what, 4 of them on IR. Like it's ridiculous.
This just in from the NBA. 76ers still suck. Any hope at all?
No, you got like the two probably the worst contracts in the NBA on one team. And that's with all respect
And we
to Joel
worked
Embiid.
hard for it. You know,
That's with all respect to Joel Embiid, who's an incredibly talented guy, but his body can't stay healthy. Like he just can't play.
Yeah.
Then you obviously have the Paul George contract that looks like a complete mess. Like you can't dump either of those contracts. And Tyrese Maxey, like he gets money. You know what I mean? Like you're paying guy. You are paying through the wazoo to be mediocre.
We've got all the overpaid, old and hurt guys.
No, just one. Just Paul.
Yeah.
He's
Embiid's not that old.
Yeah, and Embiid, honestly, like he isn't overpaid. He's well worth the money on his contract. He
can play 11 games a year.
Well, I've said this. He should play 30 games a year to get a feel for it, and just never because he won't ever make an All-NBA team or be eligible for award voting ever again because he won't meet the 65 game threshold. But play those 30 games, get a feel for it, and be ready for the playoffs. That's how I would handle his career. Because the other option is playing him in the regular season and he just gets too hurt and he can't play the playoffs. Like that's what it's going to be.
It'll take the 76ers 2 years to figure that out.
Yeah, maybe. The 76ers, even like
I miss Dr.
because
J.
they won't be able to start a rebuild as well for
long time.
Like the duration of these contracts.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
and buyouts aren't really a thing in the NBA.
Yeah,
like they do exist, but it's not how it works in the NHL. Like you can't just buy it has to be an agreement.
Yeah,
so.
In baseball, the Washington Nationals are finalizing a deal with Paul Taboni as head of baseball operations. He is a fast-rising member of the Boston Red Sox front office, and he's like 35. He's like, Declan's age. Mike Rizzo had been running that team for many years. I gave you an age shot, and you didn't say a word.
Yeah, I wasn't
listening.
No, I was listening, but you were kind of flowing with it. I didn't want to interrupt. Because here's the other thing. Exactly what I just did. It'll seem like I finished a thought, and then I'll keep going, and I'll tell you I have something to say. So when you actually are saying something, I don't want to just be jumping in.
But I do it all the time. You have
your show.
Free reign to do that because I'm jumping in all the time.
Yeah, but it's your show. I do jump in quite a bit. Like, let's not pretend I don't say what I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think if we did the minutes talking of this show, you do well.
I do for sure.
Except on Tuesdays. Because I don't even understand what the hell Donovan's saying most of the time.
Well, he's yelling a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't think that's going to work, do you? Stuff like that. Oh.
Al.
Congratulations on the big new Al. Very happy for you. I think he means news, and thank you. I'm very happy too. I will say that Karen and I are now happily married and living together. And Clifford woke me up at 2:00 in the morning. He's a 100-pound dog.
What kind of dog is Clifford?
It's a dog. It's a big dog.
Yeah.
He's
gets along with Ziggy?
No.
Oh.
Ziggy. He tries to get along with Ziggy, but Ziggy, who's a 14-pound Shih Tzu Pom, just barks at him, shows her teeth, and lunges at him.
Still?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah. And so
can they be like in a room alone together?
Well, they do, but every once in a while, I'll hear Clifford bark really loud, and then Ziggy running by me. So
it's not quite like a brother-sister thing.
No,
yet.
I think there's a fear a little bit, but Ziggy, like if she's around food, it's her food. And she is learning to play with others, but very slowly. But the cats are great.
There's the text that came in from Chomskers, and he says, when Hyman is back, these are the lines he would run. Mangiapane, McDavid, Tomasek, Frederick, Draisaitl, Savoy, Howard, Nuge, Hyman, and then Podkolzin, Phil Kapanen. I'm wondering, like, Chompskers, are you referring to a fully healthy Hyman? Because a fully healthy Hyman is not going to be playing on the third line.
Well, he'll play with McDavid.
Yeah.
Right. So I would do
if he's hurt still, or like he's lingering,
well,
I could get easing him back in, but he's not.
Hand
We're
injuries.
gonna need him on that top line.
Well, hand injuries you always worry about.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's another thing that I didn't mention. That could be a fourth option. Maybe the Oilers are cognizant of the fact that Hyman's going to take the year. Remember with Evander Kane, he had that injury and he never was the same as a scorer.
Nope.
Maybe that's going to be part of the issue they're dealing with.
I think it's more than possible. Hyman's 54 goal season was
an outlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like Hyman a lot. I think he's incredible value at 5'5". But we got to be honest. Like, do you think he's going to get another 54 goal season?
Never.
Like, that's
Never.
what I'm no chance.
I think he could do 30.
I think he could get 40, and I think that would be like an unreal season, like pushing it.
I predicted 22 this year because I did predict that he wouldn't play the full season.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
I still think he can be a 30 goal guy perennially.
If he's back and if he's healthy, I would go McDavid with Mangiapane and Hyman, and then I would go Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Savoy.
I might even put Frederick with Draisaitl.
You could do that, but I'd Podkolzin. See if he can work with Draisaitl. But man, Podkolzin is there. He scored 8 goals this past year. I think he's got 15 in him. And if he's got 15 in him and Leon likes playing with him, why not go for it?
Well, I kind of like Pods on the left, Frederick on the right, Savoy playing. But I don't want. You're right. Never mind.
Well, if you put Savoy on the third line, then
out of it.
Howard's gone because you can't have him on the fourth line.
Yeah, and like Nugent, Savoy on a line, like those two are just getting run over.
Yeah,
like they'd get out physical every
One
time.
thing I will say is they have a lot of depth because I mean, riddle me this, Batman. If Philp makes the team, does Lazar also make the team?
I couldn't see it because then. Like Rico would have to be out of the lineup, I think.
Rico, you know him personally.
Adam Henrique.
No.
Like Kapanen would be a guy. Like I don't know. I think if Phillips there, I don't see a spot for Lazar.
Yeah, and do you still have your hate on for Matthias Janmark?
I think two Stanley Cup Finals ago, Matthias Janmark. Two Stanley Cup final playoffs ago, Matthias Janmark was great, and him and Connor Brown on the penalty kill were awesome, and he played way above his capabilities. But at this point, like Janmark, he's fighting to make the team.
Yeah.
He's not that good. Like, sorry, man. Like, he's not that good of a player.
My car is ready. Can I go down and get it now?
Is your car actually ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I would never do that to you because that's what you want.
I think I'll be out for a bit of the next segment because we have another intern interviewing right now, and I'm going to go join Connor and Brandon.
So you don't believe any of this rapture stuff then?
Catholics don't believe in the rapture. That's kind of an evangelical Protestant thing.
But
you got to
the end of the world is coming.
You got to for sure. You got to let me tell you the Apostles' Creed a little bit more.
Listen,
every day
I'm
we should
Catholic.
start with the Apostles' Creed. Doesn't sound like it.
I didn't say I was a good Catholic. I'm a sinner.
Hey, we all are, man.
Yeg Moose says, I felt like the Oilers' names to watch in last night's game showed and were the players to watch. Savoy was aggressive on the puck. Phil played well. Howard was as advertised. On the other side, though, I was disappointed in Taves. Taves, I mean, it's a tough comeback, right? Yeg Moose says, I'm all for a third kid line. Let's do that. Why don't we try Ike Howard, Noah Philp, and Matt Savoy? I'd like to see it. It won't happen in the regular season, but I'd like to see it in preseason. And remember, kids, in 1990, the kid line was key to the 5th Stanley Cup this organization won. We were all of us old people, we all remember it. We really do. And Mark Lamb was in there too. That was a hell of a run by those guys. All right, 12:36. When are you doing your NCAA thing?
140. Unless you want to just make it from 1 to 2.
No, I'm thinking of
McCurdy.
because Monday, Rachel's coming back on Monday.
Yeah.
And she's 12:40.
Yep.
But other than that, do we have any other thing at 12:40 that runs Tuesday through Friday?
Well, Friday 12:40 is declinations. 12:40 generally is an open segment / guest, but we don't.
But what I was thinking
summer,
of, what if we made, except for Monday, because Rachel's very popular.
Yep.
We don't want to change that. What if we
Divisive.
moved you to 12:40?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. It's your show.
Well, I just think it's people like your feature.
Thank you.
I do my best to badmouth you wherever I can, and I read on the bathroom walls and all the bars I go to.
Right.
But it seems to be happening.
No, it's undeniable.
Right. And maybe one day it could be Declan, Apostles' Creed.
Be great. We need more of that. Be happy to do it. You guys can just DM me on Instagram.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. I'll record it and send it to you.
Beautiful. Love it. All right. We're going to take a break. On the way, lots of your comments about many, many things we've talked about. Many things. Great things. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Experience a season of superior luxury, performance, and savings. The Fall Experience event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. The all-new redesigned 2026 XC90 is here. Come drive one today. You won't be disappointed. Finance or lease a 2026 XC40 from 1.99%. And right now, you can save $7,500 on remaining 2025 XC60s. The Fall Experience event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. Visit VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
Yeah, can I get a... yes. A common reaction from a veggie lover. Always scanning, searching, longing. But wait, what is this we see? The new McVeggie, now at McDonald's.
September, back to class and back to carting the kids around. Good news. Until the end of the month at Wolf GMC Buick, get GMC employee pricing on all remaining 2025 GMC Sierras, so you'll have loads of room. Plus, get 0% financing on Sierra light-duty crew cabs. If you're eyeing up an SUV, we have the completely redesigned GMC Terrain and our entire Buick family with incredible prices. And Costco members up to $1,200 additional off the price. Come see us, corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road.
Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Imagine a busy classroom. Now imagine it if no one was willing to teach. Here's the reality. It's getting harder to keep teachers in the profession and to attract new people to an increasingly challenging job. Pay for teachers has fallen far behind inflation and cost of living. With fair wages, we can keep the ones we have and hire more. But we need the provincial government to step up, because a fair deal for teachers is a good deal for kids. A message from the Alberta Teachers Association.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Classic song. Sam, You Rock. What a great tune. Lowdown brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Employee pricing continues. WolfGMCBuick.com. In baseball today, Washington Nationals up 4-3 on Atlanta in the bottom of the 9th. That game must have started at 6 this morning. That is early. Scott says, I know plenty about the Apostles' Creed. He died boxing Ivan Drago in an exhibition match. Scott, that's brilliant. The kid line was fantastic. Sad story about Joe Murphy, though, from Smalls. Man, it was absolutely heartbreaking. And I know, based on reports and media that I saw, many NHL players reached out. And that was sad. That was very sad. That was such a great time to be an Oilers fan. Because remember, Gretzky left in the summer of '88. They the wedding was the big thing, and then the sale, and then the riot, and then all the things that were going on. It was just like madness. And then in '89, Calgary wins the Stanley Cup, which was a nadir for Oilers fans. But good for them. I always felt that the Flames in the '80s made the Oilers better. And I was happy for Lanny McDonald when he won. And Brad McCrimmon and Al McInnes and Terry Crisp, all those guys. They worked hard. They made the Oilers better. I mean, I didn't cheer for all of them when they won, but I think the Calgary Flames earned that Stanley Cup. And they also earned one in 2004 that they were robbed of. Those things are true. When Janmark scores, he looks just as surprised as fans do. I like Janmark. I remember one of the least favorite players in the 80s was a guy named Yaroslav Pozar, and I loved Pozar. He was like a tank on skates. It's like having an actual Coke machine skate down the ice. Scored some big goals for this team. Was physical. He would flatten people. They'd go, yeah, no, I'm not getting up. Amazing hockey player. If we can get Lowetide and Podkolzin together, we can call it the Tide Pods cast. The sponsorship is a gimme from Rockford. Do people who listen to this show work? Because I think you're thinking of things to text us. And I'm happy. But,
No. Clearly, these people do not have jobs.
Like yesterday, Lowetide, great memories. Thanks from Bruno. Well, memories are good things. Revive the kid line, says Rusty. Too bad Calgary isn't good enough to push us over the edge now. It's true. They're not there. I had the Red Roosters signed Pozar card. There you go. Now we're talking. Did you guys collect hockey cards when you were kids?
No. I wasn't really a big hockey card collector kid.
What about you, Sam?
I do kind of have a funny story about this. I used to work at Tim Hortons, and you know how every year they have those little hockey card things, little hockey card packs. What me and my coworkers would do is that whenever someone came up and bought a coffee, because you could buy them for $1, we would buy ourselves a pack of hockey cards with somebody else. So someone would order a coffee, and then we just add it and put $1 in the register.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have about probably 200 Tim Hortons hockey cards from one year.
There you go. When I was a kid, I think it was Esso. They had this album where you would go and get gas, and every week there'd be 5 new like player stamp photos, and you had this album that you'd buy, and then you'd put the stamp of Ron Ellis and Don Orey and Brian Spencer and Stan Gilbertson into this album, and you'd stamp it, and then at the end you'd have every player in the National Hockey League in this album. And I did that. I also had the 70-71 O-Pee-Chee entire set. My mom threw it out. It was under your bed, honey. Has your mom ever thrown anything out that you really loved? Either of you?
Probably.
Right.
If she has
your girlfriend, stuff like that.
What girlfriend? If she has, I've evidently forgiven her for it because I can't remember. And if you can't remember, it clearly wasn't important.
All right. What about you, Sam?
Not really. I don't think nothing comes to top of mind.
We haven't talked about your family very much, have we, Sam?
No, we haven't.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about, now, do you live in the West End, right?
I live in the West End personally, yes.
Oh, okay. So your family doesn't live in the West End?
Yeah, they live about 4 hours north.
Oh, where do they live?
Fort McMurray.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I think you did mention that before. Do you have any siblings?
I have a younger sister and an older sister.
Okay. So you're the third smartest child in the family.
That is sadly not the truth.
Are you the middle child?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And do you get along well with your sisters?
My older sister, yeah, we get along great, but my younger sister, she annoys me. So
what's the age difference between the older sister, you, and the younger sister?
There's about a 2-3 year age gap between me and my older sister, and then 2 years between me and my younger sister.
Okay, so you're the middle child. That's tough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they are your older sister. Is she out working, or is she still in school? What's her situation?
She is out traveling the world after working for a petting zoo up in the Yukon.
Wow, interesting people you have.
Yeah. It's a bit funky because I'm here working radio and she's out working cattle.
There you go. And your little sister who bugs you, who we should have her on, is she still in school?
She's still in school, yes.
Right. Okay. And how often do you see your mom and dad?
Every once in a while. I saw them over the summer.
Sounds like you're really close.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and like if you would you go home like for Thanksgiving and Christmas?
If I want to make the trek out there and it's any family event is for whatever reason 4 hours north, yeah. If not, they're usually coming down and paying me a visit.
Okay, so they like to come down and visit you.
Yeah, well, mostly because they got to go to Costco.
Oh my God, been there. You know that hot dog deal is still the best deal on the planet.
Absolutely. Do you know the story on why it's like that?
Because they won't lower it. The big guy goes into a rage and says, "We're not raising the price."
Yeah,
I love him. They have their fries are good too.
Surprisingly,
yeah, they're really good. I haven't had the pizza yet.
It's a pizza. Can't really say it's too good or too bad.
What's your favorite pizza?
I'm gonna have to say any meat lovers pizza from anywhere.
Okay, it sounds like you really have any company that is making you a pizza has a tough row to hoe with your, preferences. Put meat on it and you'll like it.
Yeah.
Do you like green peppers at all or onions?
Yeah, I like those.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get back to this. One day when it's just you and I, we'll go on at length about your family, and I'll uncover some things that are perhaps embarrassing to them and to you.
Okay.
What were your grades like in school?
Well, I was decent throughout the board except for math, and that's why I'm here.
Math is math is the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. How awesome is it that Sam doesn't know exactly the age gap between him and his older sister for math? So, congratulations on the new Status LT. Speaking of store collectibles, would love to hear any memories you have of DQ CFL helmets. I remember them very well. The CFL, it gets a bad rap. There used to be a CFL weekly magazine that I bought every week. And the one thing about the CFL that always killed me is you could buy for the Grey Cup. You couldn't pick the score, but you'd buy a little, a little box in a bunch of boxes, and that would be it'd be East 14, West 13. And if that was the final score, you'd win whatever it was. And I must have bought 400 of those over the years. I think they were $1 each, and I never won a thing. I feel like people just sold it and then didn't bother to tell you won. Tipsy McStaggers says, I still have the O-Pee-Chee card set from 71, I believe. You could order a cardboard locker with a slot for every team. Don Cherry rookie card as a coach. There you go. That's nice. Best pizza ever, jalapeno fresh tomato. That's kind of the hot one, though, right? I don't like the hot ones. My kids order pizza I can't eat. Hot stuff, man. Lowetide, Captain Kirk here. You are correct. It was Esso that had the hockey stickers. Man, I drove my dad crazy with that stuff. He called at the edge of Lloydminster. There was a gas station that had llamas, and I don't know why, but they did, and they sold inexpensive gas. And the guy who worked there, owned the place, he'd say, "Fine day," and they'd say, "Yeah, fine day." So my dad called the guy who sold inexpensive gas and said fine day whenever you saw him, my dad called him Cheapy Fine Day. That's what I'm not trying to offend anybody. That's just what my dad called the guy. He was a nice enough fellow, had llamas, obviously good to people. And I would beg him. I'd say, Dad, did you go to Cheapy Fine Days? And he'd go, no, I didn't. Didn't drive to Lloydminster today. Do you ever wonder if I'm just going to go off on one of these tangents and never get back to the show, Josh?
No, never. I enjoy listening to you. It's like when your grandfather or grandmother have like one or two too many glasses of wine and they just start talking about when I was your age, I worked in a coal treatment plant where I beat a pipe that was full of mud.
That's right. And made a fine living at it. Thank you.
My grandfather actually did do that. That was a real story.
Tipsy McSagger says, I still have the SO Stamp album completed. Wow. My dream was always, I don't know if you've ever seen them. Have you ever seen those mystery shows about the pyramids and the different things that visits from other species from outer space, and the guy who's the expert, it's like he has a flashlight under his chin. That's the lighting of it. And they go, there are images that we can use infrared on in the Arctic where it appears as though spaceships not from this Earth landed 45,000 years ago. Have you seen those ones? Those are good shows.
The History Channel?
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
They don't really do much history anymore.
I think it's all stuff that is Unsolved Mysteries, I think, created several generations of conspiracy theorists who will believe anything.
Like D.B. Cooper.
Yeah. That really happened, though.
No, I know that. I know there was this guy who said his name was D.B. Cooper, and then he jumps out of a plane, and then no one sees him again.
But they found the backpack.
Yeah, but not with all the money, right?
Yeah, the money wasn't all there, which tells you something. Either he, perished somewhere else and the backpack kept falling and somebody found it, or D.B. damn Cooper jumped out of a plane and lived.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome sauce. Could you imagine jumping out of a plane and just living?
I would never jump out of a
nothing?
plane. Please understand, jumping out of a perfectly good plane is a sign of intelligence or lack thereof. Do you bungee jump or jump out of a plane? Parachuting thing?
No, I can never say I have. I've done indoor skydiving before. That was fun.
Will you do me a
real
favor?
Skydiving.
Will you do an old man a favor?
I guess so.
When you get married and have children, will you not do that anymore, please?
Indoor skydiving?
Yes. Anything that you're jumping out of,
anything
that you're jumping out of from high distances where you could injure yourself badly or worse, please stop doing it.
Tide, the way indoor skydiving works, right, is there's this big fan on the ground and it spins super fast, and there's a net that you stand on.
Right.
And then you basically go in for a belly flop, and then you start skydiving, but it pushes you up.
Yeah. I think there's still a way for you to screw that up and perish.
I mean, I could always just cut a hole in the webbing and jump right into the fan.
You're already thinking of it. That's my concern. No, I think that if you have children, then you should stop doing those things.
Can't wait to have kids.
There you go.
I mean, I can wait. People on the internet, Mom, Dad, I can wait to have kids. I can wait to have kids.
But you said you can't wait to have kids.
Okay, well, let's not twist my words here. Let's not.
I didn't twist your words. You said the words.
Yeah.
In order for me to twist the words,
I'm excited for the time when I get to have kids.
If I were to twist the words, you would say something and then I would change the words. I'm repeating that you can't wait to have children, which you said just moments ago.
Yeah, but then that makes it sound like I'm actively trying to have children right now.
Well, as far as we know, maybe you are.
I am.
Who
not.
did you build the cabinets for yesterday?
My friend Jen.
Okay. And who did you buy the drugs for?
My roommate Brandon.
Okay. Do you live with Brandon?
Not Brandon Douglas, not the Duke of Delburn. No.
Wow.
I worked with his sister at the Canadian Brew House.
Okay.
And him and his girlfriend broke up. So he
Brandon's sister, our Brandon's sister worked at the Canadian Brew House?
Sure.
For those of you at home, I just won. On the way, Kevin McCurdy will also have declinations talking NCAA. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Time for an update with Sam the intern.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Oilers preseason continuing tonight against the Kraken at 7 p.m. at Rogers Place. Draisaitl, Bouchard, and McDavid are some of the regulars in tonight's lineup. Other NHL action on tonight as the Panthers head to Carolina to face off against the Hurricanes. The Blue Jackets host the Penguins in Columbus, and the Flames take on the Canucks in Vancouver. The Blue Jays look to hold on to their divisional lead tonight, taking on the Red Sox with Matt Scherzer on the mound at 5:07. Elsewhere in the majors, the Yankees continuing their series with the White Sox, the Guardians taking on Detroit in a match for the lead in the AL Central, and the Mariners host the Rockies. In Pro Football Hall of Fame news, they have announced their 2026 nominees, with Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald headlining the group as first-time eligible players. Other notable players in the first year of eligibility include Frank Gore, Shady McCoy, and Phil Rivers. Coming up on the Lowdown with Lowetide, we've got Kevin McCurdy to discuss the Oilers. And this has been your Sports 1440 update with Sam Wilness.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Mr. Rooter goes for a fall stroke.
Ah, the beauty of fall. These leaves are crunchier than that calcified shower head I replaced this morning. And the earthy yellow oranges and browns are as colorful as the wad of hair I pulled out of the shower drain.
Ugh, Mr. Rooter, can we talk about something else?
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't like fall. You look about as sour as the sewer line I unclogged yesterday.
For a plumber you'll truly fall for. Call Mr. Rooter.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Center. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Center on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Center by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Find incredible savings on everything you need for your home at The Brick. Save up to $800 on sofas and up to $1,000 off select major appliances when you buy two or more. Whether you're furnishing a new space or refreshing your current one, The Brick has designs to fit any style and budget, all backed by their exceptional service. Visit one of their 4 locations in Edmonton, downtown, South Common, West Edmonton Mall, or 137th on the north side. See in-store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank, plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products, 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
I'm a little hungry.
I've got booster balls from Booster Juice.
Booster what now?
Booster balls. They're little protein bites packed with nutrients. Chewy, crunchy, yummy, and new flavors all the time. Like this little guy, the new mint chocolate booster ball, peppermint cocoa, coconut, peanut butter, maple syrup, all rolled up into a delightful little bite-sized snack.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I don't know.
Can I have one?
No.
Booster Juice. Canadian born. Blending since 1999.
Hi, Sticky. To breaking down the middle. Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Employing prices continue on the entire 2025 Sierra trucks. Details at wolfgmcbuick.com. a little after 1 o'clock, just ahead of Kevin McCurdy. We have much to discuss, including last night's game and tonight's lines. Did you catch the Grammy salute to Earth, Wind, and Fire on Sunday night? It was awesome. I figured a man of our vintage would enjoy it. I did not, but I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. Ancient Aliens was the name of the show. For FYI, Unsolved Mysteries helped solve 250 cold cases from Sheldor. I knew it was a high number. I did not know it was that many numbers. That's amazing. They should bring that back. SO Power Players. There you go. I have 2 of the cardboard lockers OPC. That's OPC. 8182. Thanks to my dad for buying that for me. Propane Pimp says, I never wonder, Al. Always know you'll never get back on point because, frankly, what was the point to begin with? Amen, brother. Just saw the Joe Murphy story, and it was heartbreaking. Kudos to Adam Graves and Glenn Healy for finding him a home. You know, it was the one that I saw. It made me cry. When you reach a point in your life, you will have life experience that's good and that's bad. And someone you're close to, someone in your family, someone that you love, when there's a thing that sometimes happens where they fall out of norm, and you try, well, they need a hand, and I'm not an expert. I don't know if it's mental health. I don't know what it might be, but it's torturous. It's very difficult. And that was such a story. I still have a bundle of SO stickers from the 70s. I'm old. And I have so many hockey newses from the 60s to throw out. I have the 1967 September hockey news that has all the expansion teams' players listed. And I could probably, if you paid me, there were 6 teams. I think they each got 20 players. It's 120 players. If you paid me $100 per name, I bet you I could get 100 of them. Nobody's going to do that, but it's a nice dream. How can Lowetide make a lot of money with his ridiculous memory about stuff that doesn't matter? So awesome. I remember my dad going to the SO stations, couldn't wait to get those stickers to put them in the book. We are waiting Kevin McCurdy, and actually we have him now. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing well, Alan. How are you doing this week?
I'm good. I'm very well. Let's start here. Let's start with your take on last night's game and maybe some of the players that you noticed and were impressed by.
I only got to watch the third period, and I honestly didn't get a chance to go back and watch the other 2, but I really liked what I saw from Leppinen. I really liked what I saw from Marjala. I really liked what I saw from Noah Philp, especially. What a beauty pass he made to Emberson on that third goal. Really liking where the kids are at. Savoy was good. Dude's a little a crowbar with skates, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I think that, and he's not like, I keep thinking, okay, it's Yamamoto, and then I get worried, but he's a little more substantial in terms of build. He's not a tall man, but he's taller, and he carries substantially more weight than Yamamoto did.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I really like where Savoy's at as a player. I think if he spends any real time with Draisaitl, that's going to be one heck of a combination.
I concur with that. Thoughts on Ike Howard? Nice shot. There's no doubt about that. And I like his passing. What are you noticing?
I liked what I saw in that shot. I mean, looks like Leon, man. That was just absolutely wired. He's going to be one of those players that can score from anywhere, and those are fairly rare. So I'm hopeful that his game sense continues to improve and that they spend the right amount of time and resources developing him. But I think Ike is he's getting better every game from what I've seen so far, and that's always a good trend.
Kevin McCurdy, our guest on Sports 1440 and the Lowdown with Lowetide. Also on YouTube. Coach came out yesterday. He talked about Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl playing with Trent Frederick. They'll play tonight, and at least at this point, there's a thought that would be the opening night top line. When I heard it, I questioned it openly. I felt like there was enough depth here created on the wings to make it happen. But one of the things that I've thought about since then is the possibility of Hyman maybe not being 100% when he gets back. This might be more than a month, and maybe they want to load up a little bit. So let me get your reaction to the coach's comments and the fact that we're going to be watching the two big gunners with Trent Frederick tonight.
I'm still of mixed opinions about this. We're at the point in the season where do we really need to be rocking the big guns every night? They want to get off on the right foot, but this team is deep enough that I would think that we can probably make it into the playoffs healthily without really, I hate to say a lot of effort, but I feel like they have a lot of opportunity to spend more time developing the kids without really risking a playoff berth. So maybe that's just me, but I'm also sure that Chris Knobloch is a smart dude and he has some ideas about things that he wants to try. And there's a specific reason that he wants to try it, then by all means. But as long as we're not shunting the kids' development time with the big stars throughout the season, I guess would be my point of contention with it.
My spidey senses are already tingling in that regard. When the coach talks about Savoy, it's often special teams and fourth line. Howard got a nice look last night, which is I think a positive. And I am sensitive to the idea that, they pushed Jesse Puljujarvi when he was a teenager and it didn't work out. And I think they made a mistake in bringing him up and playing him in a feature role so quickly. I totally get that. But Savoy is 21. He's not 18. He's played well in the AHL. And I do think that if you play a rookie in October, November, December, January, and February, by April, they're no longer a rookie. But if you fade them and play them on the fourth line, you're not making a lot of progress. Do you agree with that, or do you think that's a little overreaction?
No, I absolutely agree with that. And where the Oilers are in their development cycle, they need to get on developing the next generation. And the best time to do that is early in the season. The competition is not quite as stiff, and you're not, it's important to gun for every point that you can, but the Oilers have the muscle and the experience to dig themselves out if they get in rough. So if you have, a game where things aren't going well, then sure, you can rebuild your roster on the fly to accommodate that. But other than that, we should be playing the kids. I think it's important that we're playing the kids.
Yeah, I agree with that. With that in mind, I don't think he's going to make this team, and he might not play all year here. But I really like Quinn Hudson's game so far.
Yeah, I saw some clever stuff out of him. He was another one that stuck out to me. I think that he's going to be he's a great find for this organization as a whole, and I think that he's got the right game sense to make it in the league. We just have to find an opportunity to develop him.
It's an interesting time in the history of the Edmonton Oilers. There's so many things that are coming together. I agree with you. I think they could make the playoffs, and do a lot of experimenting during the period of time in the regular season. But there's also the contract that will or will not come at some point in time for Connor McDavid. How important do you think is it for the Oilers to start quickly here in the framework of McDavid possibly signing a contract?
I'm not sure that that's going to make a material difference to him signing a contract or not. They've struggled, and he's been upfront with them struggling for a couple of years to get a good solid start, especially 2 years ago, which resulted in Jay Woodcroft losing his job. Um, I th- it's really important that they get off to a good start, but I also think they have the muscle to do that, regardless of how they build their lineup. So I do question like throwing the big two together on the first line. I don't really think it's about McDavid's contract. I think Connor is going to do what Connor's going to do. I think he's likely to sign. I'm not honestly that worried about it, but it also would be nice to sort of get that out of the way before it does become a significant distraction for the team.
Yeah, and I think that you want to play as many people as you can, just in case Hyman, when he returns, maybe he's not 100%, and maybe this, I have this feeling. Remember Evander Kane? Did he ever get fully back to? He could fire that pill before he got hurt with the maroon injury. I don't know that he ever got back to previous levels, even a couple of years later.
No, I don't think so. I'm a little bit worried about Zach, but to be fair, Zach Hyman and Evander Kane's styles were a little bit different. Zach is quite a in tight to the net kind of guy. He doesn't do a lot of shooting from distance, and Kane did more shooting from distance, and it really hurt Kane's ability to pass effectively even more than he was already had some challenges with it. But even the shooting from distance dropped a little bit. So I think it's in that respect, it's probably less of a risk to Hyman, but I am worried that it's going to take him quite a while to get back to 100% if he does at all.
It's I sit here every weekday and I read a lot of texts, and the overwhelming texts, the overwhelming subject that is number one is about Stuart Skinner. There's a new goaltender coach. We're going to see him play tonight. I thought the goaltending last night was pretty solid, especially Calvin Pickard. And I also believe that if there's an issue, we will see a change here at the deadline. I think most people believe that. Skinner's lost weight. The references that I've read from the gathered media, say he's quicker. How much are you going to be watching him tonight, and how much can we tell in preseason about a goaltender who's taken them to the final the last two seasons, and really his report card doesn't start getting written until and if they make the final?
I'm looking forward to seeing where he's at. I know the weight thing has been drummed heavily in the media. 15 pounds is not insignificant in terms of moving around, but I'm also just interested to see what, if any, magic that the new goalie coach has worked with him. I don't think I'm pretty sure the leash is not going to be all the way until the trade deadline. If they need to make a change, I think they'll make a change sooner than that. If at all possible. I guess we'll find out. It's really gonna be important for the big guys tonight to have, a solid preseason game just to sort of get a feel where everybody's at. And I hope that Skinner rises to the occasion.
Yeah, I feel the same way. All right. Thanks for this. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
Hey, congrats on getting married, Lowetide.
Oh, thanks very much. I appreciate that.
Have a good week, everyone.
All right, there you go, Kevin McCurdy. And I want you to know that people are texting in, don't forget your anniversary date. I'm the romantic. I want you to know. So I will remember. I'll do everything I can to make sure that the locks don't get changed at good old our house. I'm not doing that, Tiger. We've already had people asking about if it's true that, and I'm not doing that. When we get confirmation from trusted media about that, I would definitely go to air with it. I promise. But we haven't heard that, so I can't say it. I like the lineup tonight for the Oiler fans. If you're going to the game, you are going to enjoy the best Oilers for sure. By the way, Chris Knobloch turns 47 today. Been to the final twice. Now he was hired at the beginning of the season in 23-24, but in the finals in 24 and 25, he guided the team to the Stanley Cup final. That's a hell of a resume. It really is.
How old does that make Knobloch? He was born in 78. He's turning 47 this year.
Yeah.
He was born in 1978.
Did you do the math on that?
I just did. Yeah.
Wow. Good job.
Thanks.
78.
My dad's an engineer. I learned a little bit of math. He's older than my mom by a year. Not as
your dad or
accomplished.
Knobloch?
Knobloch is 1 year younger than my mom.
Okay.
Not as accomplished, though. 2 Stanley Cup finals.
So, but your mom has how many kids?
3.
Right.
All lived to the age of 18 and
Right.
graduated high school.
And she has negotiated life with Matt Fenwick as her husband. I think she deserves,
this is true,
like some kind of Nobel Prize.
You don't get a Stanley Cup for that. You get homemade coupons on Mother's Day. That's right.
But moms love that stuff.
Oh God, I don't think so.
Well, maybe your mom does. Maybe you're crappy at it. Maybe other kids
It's
did
true.
really good
Maybe-
jobs.
Maybe I'm just a crappy son and I don't know.
What's the best Mother's Day gift you ever got your mom?
Well, let's see. I haven't been home for the last 2, so silence. That's pretty good.
No, but did you call her?
I did.
No, well then that's moms love that.
Yeah, I called her.
Yeah. So that, like, in lieu of like nothing, a phone call means a lot.
So that might be the best, is I lived far away and I still called her on Mother's Day.
Okay, but what's the best physical gift you ever got her?
I don't know. A hand-drawn turkey?
Wow.
There's definitely something that I'm forgetting in here that was like, my dad bought it, but it was from all of us on Mother's Day.
That's not really the same.
I know it's not the same, but like, that's basically what we did from the age of like 12 up. Before that, it was
I know.
coupons,
ashtrays, and nature scenes, and
they stopped smoking at that point. So no, I wasn't giving them ashtrays
But did you do dioramas when you were in school?
all the time.
Yeah. Didn't think to bring one of those home for mom?
No, she did help me do one though. One time, her side of the family's history.
Okay.
I did that project in grade 6.
Is it an interesting history?
It is actually.
Okay.
I'm not going to break it down right now. It
Did
was
they
also
come from
12 years
Europe?
ago. Pardon me?
Did they come from Europe?
A lot of different places in Europe.
Really?
We had family that fought against each other in World War II.
Wow. That's interesting. And also probably makes the reunions fun.
Well, I mean, I didn't even know we had family in Macklin, Saskatchewan until this summer.
Wow.
My mom knew they were there, but I didn't.
Right.
And they finally went to go visit them. And I think I'm meeting them next year.
Well, the visit must have gone well.
It must have.
All right. It's 1:21. We'll take a break. Your comments about our conversation with Kevin McCurdy. And we'll look forward to Declination talking NCAA straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Hot coffee.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Employee pricing continues. WolfGMCBuick.com. It is 1:25. Have you talked about how smokers used to dump ashtrays, their car ashtrays in parking lots? No, it hadn't come up. But now it has. They used to have this thing in cars, and you pushed it in, and it would instantly light up, like be red and ready to place it on the cigarette, take a puff, and it's lit. Those were the days, my friend. Have you seen those?
I have in movies.
Yeah.
Same with like the phone that used to be in the car.
Oh, those are wild.
I wish.
Great big honking phones, size of a car battery. Hello.
I was watching Air this weekend, the creation of that Michael Jordan line at Nike and how they signed him and stuff. And so Sonny Vaccaro goes to North Carolina to convince the Jordans to take a meeting with Nike.
Right.
And his rental car has the phone in it. And I was like, I want that phone. I need that phone. Give me that car.
You know, and you know, if you lived through the era, you would absolutely go, thank God the phone is a normal size now. But if you didn't live through the era, you're like, oh my God, how could I get that? Before the phones that were in the car, you used to be able to get a phone that you would charge, and then you would take it like the full phone and the whole battery and everything, and you'd put it in the car and you could use that when you drove.
Well, I knew that.
Yeah. Oh, well, sorry that I was unaware of
No, thank you.
Brilliant phone, history information.
My mom had her first phone just like in our toy bin when we were kids, like it would be gone. And so we were like, oh my God, what's this? And then you pull out the antenna and it was like the size of our arm.
Yeah.
I still don't know how it fit in there.
The stuff you missed. My grandpa used to climb up like on Christmas Day because grandma couldn't watch the hockey game. I guess it wouldn't be Christmas Day, but wintertime. And he'd have to change the antenna. And my grandma would like go in, watch it, and then she'd yell at him. And he's up like, I mean, he could fall down and do God knows what. And he's up there on the icy roof, making sure that grandma gets to watch the hockey game. Those were the days. Perplexed Oilers fan. Oilers have zero pure goal scoring wingers. Zero. Kane scored a ton in close also. Everything went away for 2 years. Hyman will likely be done in 2 years, talent-wise. Team has bigger problems than media thinks, unless the whole team comes out trying 100%. Not there. Well, look, I think that Stan Bowman acknowledged that by the moves he made. The Ike Howard trade is a for instance, but also Matt Savoy. They cleared the decks. Like Stan Bowman cleared the decks for Matt Savoy. And so my original point about Coach Chris Knobloch is that you know, he's talking about Savoy playing on special teams and then maybe on a depth line, third or fourth line, because they don't want to give him too much, which I totally get, because if he's on both special teams, you probably want to play him 10 minutes a night at 5-on-5. That makes sense. But there's still a way to play him on the fourth line with somebody who can, you know, help him score goals at 5-on-5. And we'll have to see how it goes. But I would like to see Savoy with Leon Draisaitl and Bud Colson sometime this fall. And I don't know that we will. We'll see. I mean, look, Chris Knobloch may have discovered, you know, that Frederick has chemistry with Leon and McDavid in practice, and this thing might go large, and we might be talking about it at the end of the year as the most brilliant coaching movie made all year. We don't know. But going in, you sort of want to see in training camp, in preseason, a lot of Matt Savoy and Ike Howard. And in fairness to the coach, that's what he's given us so far. Lowetide, I had one of the phones before that, CB Breaker. Do you remember the phone banks at the Bay? Sears, Woolworths, main door entrances? I do. I do indeed. When I got into sales in the 90s, I used to use payphones to call back to Maggie for getting information. Hi, Maggie. And then she'd make me sing a Tom Jones song. Can you believe that? Even in the 90s, I got no respect. We had the original group chat. It was called Party Line with all of our neighbors. We were one long, one short. Did you ever partake in a party line?
Like a conga line?
No, like everybody had access to your phone conversation. So our ring was one long, one short. That meant it was us.
Oh.
So we would pick up the phone, but sometimes you could hear breathing on the other
Right.
phones.
Mom, get off the phone.
Right. You know.
I'm talking to Jennifer.
No, but I'm talking about other people in other houses listening to you.
No.
Yeah.
This is well before my time. I
Yeah.
didn't.
No, I understand. This is
Yeah.
after the wheel and before the goat. I
Right.
get it.
Slightly after
Yeah.
fire. I never had anything like that. I can't even begin to relate. The only one is sometimes like if someone was on one of the landlines, you'd pick up the other end, put your hand over the receiver and just listen.
Yeah.
That was always kind of fun. You felt like a bit of a super spy.
I got it. I
Like
understand.
Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
Bruno says, pulling up to JRJ's American Bar with a Z28 and the brick phone. I was at that American Bar too much back in the day. Too very much.
I love the idea of like the sales team on a Friday hitting the bar after they've hit their quota or after they've had a great week. Like
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. I bet you guys had the best time ever.
It started at noon.
Oh yeah, on Fridays.
Well, yeah, you'd go for lunch,
Man.
and then you'd have a few, and then somebody would say, "We're going to Vegas."
I would love to every Friday just turn it into a party around noon and just start drinking beers. But the problem is I'm already pretty bad at my job, so I don't want.
No, you're great at your job. The problem is that's what happened in radio in the
Yeah.
80s, and it wasn't good for like health or
Right.
So
Yeah.
you guys do it better,
Yeah, well, our generation, we're drinking or spending the least amount of money on alcohol of any generation ever,
You
which maybe
pre-drink,
isn't that
right?
surprising, but it's no, like just in total, whether it be liquor stores, whether it be bars, whether it be restaurants, by a significant amount. And that's that. I finished the thought, so that's my bad.
So like, was there a point? Because it doesn't have to
No.
be on this show.
Well, I know the point was like because you talked about like our generation and drinking and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it is significantly down compared to generations of the past.
Yeah.
And like obviously the price is a huge factor in that, but
Yeah. Well, you guys are getting pushed from everywhere.
yeah, for
You know.
sure. Like we don't have money for
Well, you don't have coverage. You don't have basic like medical coverage. Which
I'm still on your health coverage.
Jeez, honestly. Party lines were neat. Watching telephone ladies putting the jacks in for different calls out in Vilna. Yeah. My mom was an overseas operator for BC Tel before I was born. I wasn't there, mind you, but she did tell me that. When the news about the Oilers joining the NHL was breaking, CJCA actually broadcast a message to Brian Hall live on the air. Brian Hall, please call your office. No lie, I heard it from Phil. Well, that makes sense. I have so many Brian Hall stories I could tell you over the years. Brian Hall is a legend in broadcasting for lots of good reasons. Very generous soul. And nobody would really, I think, say a discouraging word about him.
Every time I've met Brian Hall, I've really enjoyed his company.
Yeah. When I was like 15, I went into would have been, I guess, CJCA. And my uncle introduced me, and I was just in awe of him. He did.
Oh, yeah.
He did. They used to have carts, they called them, where you'd have an actuality, somebody like Hugh Campbell talking about Waddell Smith and a play that he made on Sunday. And Hall didn't have any tear sheets. They called them tear sheets, where it would be, you take the cart, you put it in, and the tear sheet says, Hugh Campbell talking about Waddell Smith, 43 seconds long. He didn't have any of that. He just ran it. And he was that good. He just remembered everything. It was amazing.
You lived through the best of times.
I don't know about that. I think you're going to have the most interesting times.
I agree with that.
I don't know if it's going to be best, but you are going to be the movie about your life will be far more interesting than the movie about my life.
I actually really do enjoy the generation I've grown up in. I think it was the perfect time. We got like that late 90s, early 2000s nostalgia, mostly early 2000s. And then like when I was a teenager, like cell phones definitely existed and social media was definitely a thing. So it was a great way to connect, but it wasn't as present and overruling as it is now. So it was kind of just a nice little side touch to what we were doing.
Yeah.
It was cool. Like I've had it pretty well.
Yeah, you've done well too. Honest Ed, line 1, you're on the air. There you go. Titan says last party line we had was rural Nova Scotia 1992. Mom got it changed because Nancy up the road was Snoopy lady, always listening in on her calls. Nancy's probably a relative of mine. Lowetide, nickel, dime, quarter, a roll of each Monday morning to the phone banks when I was in sales from John. Amen, John.
How long would you stand at that payphone just dialing, cold calling?
Well, I would cold call the office when I was cold calling clients. I would do it from the radio station, but you're calling for messages, right?
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Okay,
and
fair.
messages always came down a little pink slip about, I don't know, 2 inches by 4 inches, and you had like 6 of them. You had a good day, right? Rod says Brian Hall, John Short, West Montgomery, Rod Phillips, Billy Warwick were great people. Knew them all except Rod Phillips. Well, I knew Rod, and Rod was a great guy. My only complaint about Halsey was he used to do the Eskimo games on Ched. You could hear the crowd roaring and knew something exciting was happening. And he'd be talking about Tony Roma's so frustrating, but a treasured icon in the city. Well, here's the thing. Tony Roma's loved him, and so did the audience. So the only thing that Halsey ever did that drove me nuts was he called Louis Pasaglia, and maybe he was right, and I'm wrong, but nobody else did. And Rod used to say Yadi Curry too. He wouldn't say Yari Curry. He'd say Yadi Curry. I don't know how these things happen. All right, 1:37. Are you ready for declinations?
Yes.
All right.
Very excited.
Straight ahead, we get back to sports. Everybody will be happy. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Edmonton Elks Indigenous Celebration is back, presented by No Frills, September 27th versus the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Play pricing continues at wolfgmcbuick.com. I like that song. I never one of those newer tunes. What song was that?
Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
Yeah, and that's a big top 10 hit right now.
20 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
It was huge. That's the white people song.
What are you doing?
No, white people go crazy for that song.
What the hell does that mean?
It's exactly what I said. White people love Mr. Brightside.
The Killers, Christian rock band.
I didn't know they were Christian
They're
rock.
not actually officially, but people kind of speculate that they are. Exactly. Yeah. Based on their lyrics, people speculate they are, but they're not
Where
officially.
on God's earth is this show going to?
Listen, I ask myself that every day.
What's the Christian rock band that everybody knew they were Christian rock?
I don't know. Creed.
Kiss.
Oh, there we go.
Kiss taught all males how to put up pancake makeup.
And I believe they were all Jewish.
And David Bowie taught them how to put on real makeup.
Yeah.
I was there. Oh, actually, Mark Bolan from TX also contributed. All right, it's time for declinations. We're going to get off the makeup, the Christian rock, and everything like that. Brought to you by Elks Nation, 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele and Declan Krueger, breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth Double E football coverage available on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcast. Big game this weekend.
A lot of big games this weekend. This is an incredible weekend for college football. Oregon, Penn State, the 6-3 matchup. Bama, Georgia, which is always huge. USC, Illinois, USC, Illinois, which is another one I'm going to have my eye on. As always, going to go over my top 12 and then look ahead to some of the games this weekend. So number one, I still have Ohio State. I didn't move them. They're number one in the official AP poll. Didn't play last week off, 3-0. They're there's no reason not to rank them number one, I guess is the best way to describe it. They beat Texas when Texas was the number one team in the country, albeit in kind of a defensive battle. Texas is, I'll talk about them later. Like Texas probably isn't what we thought they were, or at least it appears that way through 4 games. Arch Manning has not looked great in most games.
Is there any chance he gets replaced?
No, I don't think so. They don't have anyone who could replace him. For Arch Manning, the hope is because he hasn't been good. Don't get me wrong, but there's still enough football to be played, and there's enough talent there that he can lead the team to good things. I'll say that.
All right.
Number 2, I have Miami at 4-0. Miami beat Florida this past weekend. Not that is some great win or anything, but Miami has just been a team they beat, Notre Dame. They beat the piss out of USF. They have just been a team that has kind of been I don't think a lot of people thought I think a lot of people thought Miami was going to lose that opening game to Notre Dame, and they were going to be a team that was going to do well in the ACC, but lose to Clemson in the championship game, or just they thought maybe they would be a top 10 to 12 team for the majority of the season, but they'd always be fakers. But they're for real, man. This Miami team is really, really good. Carson Beck is playing really, really well. I've loved what I've seen from them. The U is back. Like that? The U is back. And they're playing great ball. I have them number 2. Number 3, I have Oregon. Oregon is just beating the piss out of everyone, beating the piss out of everyone.
Can you say that?
I think so. I just did.
Okay.
Whoopsies. They beat Oregon. This is a crazy one. By the way, this is why there's a magical city in the desert in Nevada. The line for the Oregon State-Oregon game was 34.5, and Oregon won by 34.
Wow.
Come on, what are we doing here? But I have them at number 3. I have Georgia at number 4. Georgia's win over Tennessee. They're most impressive. They had an off week last week as well. They're 3-0. I think they're a really good team. I think that Tennessee win was very good. It'll be interesting to see what Tennessee does in the rest of the SEC play.
Did you mean Reno?
No, in Nevada.
Or Vegas?
Well, Vegas. Vegas
okay.
is the magical city in the desert.
Right. I thought maybe Reno.
Reno, I've never been to Reno. I hear it's an older crowd.
Well, it's the people who don't want the big lights.
Yeah. Number 5, I have Penn State. They are they've
Very interesting team.
They have a really good roster. I like James Franklin as a coach, even though he's never been able to win the big one. I still can't pick them to ever be a national champion or a Big Ten winner until they don't Penn State it up. Like until they go out there and do it, they're just always going to be the team that loses in the biggest moments. But despite that, I have them at number 5. At number 6, I have Oklahoma. Oklahoma beat Michigan, which was a really good win. And this past weekend, they beat an Auburn team that was ranked in the top 25. Auburn's quarterback, Jackson Arnold, used to be the quarterback of Oklahoma. He transferred there. He transferred to Auburn for big money and NIL. But Oklahoma has done great. Like they have really, really impressed me this season. I'm more than happy putting them at number 6. I think based on the eye test and based on the teams they've beat, obviously that Auburn game, the Michigan game I just talked about, they deserve to be number 6. At number 7, I have Indiana. And I was thinking about this a lot, Lowetide, because there was so much talk this year about who's going to be this year's Indiana. Is Illinois going to be this year's Indiana? Could Nebraska be this year's Indiana? What about Washington? They have a really easy schedule. Could they be this year's Indiana? Indiana might just be this year's Indiana. And they actually might be better than last year with Mendoza as their quarterback. By the way, how about this for a crazy WTF football stat, Lowetide? Do you know who the betting favorite is for the Heisman right now? An Indiana quarterback. Like that is.
Where are we? We're through the looking glass here.
I'm trying to. You can't really do that with the NHL. I'm trying to think of a comparison. You can't really do it because there's so much more parity in the NHL. But it would kind of be like Columbus Blue Jacket being the front row runner for Hart. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those, or like a. Yeah, maybe that's the best team to describe it. You're like, wait, hold on a second. Like a Columbus Blue Jacket is the betting favorite for the Hart, but Mendoza has played great. Indiana was the 19th ranked team going into last week. They were playing the 9th ranked team in Illinois, undefeated. You know what the final score of that game was? 63-10 for Indiana.
Wow.
They beat the brakes off Illinois. It was an incredible performance. They might be better than they were last year. Oh, and by the way, last year they were a playoff team. And you know who their only 2 losses were to last year? Ohio State and Notre Dame on the road.
Nice.
Kurt Cignetti is building something there. They honestly could be higher than number 7. The reason I have them number 7 instead of higher is because when I look at all the teams ahead of them, I would favor them to beat Indiana, but I like what Indiana's doing. At 8, I have Florida State. Florida State, yeah, man, like they keep beating the brakes off, I'll say, of teams that are not very good. And that Alabama win, like we really, really killed Alabama for it. And we're going to learn a lot about Alabama this weekend against Georgia. But you know what? Florida State's just a good team. Tommy Castellanos is a good quarterback. He's efficient. They run the ball well. Mike Norvell, he's their head coach. This was really a prove it year for him. And he's proved it so far. Obviously, they're only 4 games in, but like Florida State, shout out. They're doing really well. Number 9, I have Texas A&M. I like what Texas A&M is doing. They obviously have that Notre Dame win in that really closely contested game. They have a big game this week as well against Auburn. This is a little bit the point of my top 12 where it's like, who do I put here? And I think the quality of that Notre Dame win is good because I do think Notre Dame's a good team and they're an undefeated SEC ball club. Now they haven't played SEC ball yet, but I'm going to put them number 9. Number 10, I have LSU. LSU, last week I had them at 6. The week before that, I had them at 4. The week before that, I had them at 2.
And where do you have them now?
I have them 10.
Okay.
So they've really dropped off. And really, the reason is they were only there because of their Clemson win. And you know who's a 1-3 team who almost it was an 0-4 team until they erased a 26-point deficit against Troy? That Clemson team. Like that Clemson team who I had in the national title game, quite frankly, are just not a good ball club. And you look at all the talent they have there, especially on the defensive side of the ball, like TJ Parker, Avion Terrell. They have an experienced veteran quarterback in Cade Klubnik, and they got a coach who's won multiple national championships in Dabo Sweeney, and they're just bad. Like, I'm not here to talk about Clemson or pile on Clemson, but they're a bad team. We had LSU ranked where they were because they went to Clemson week 1 and beat Clemson, but Clemson is not really a good ball club, and LSU hasn't looked overly impressive in any of their wins. They beat Southeast Louisiana this past week, 56-10, but they have just not looked great, quite frankly, so I got them down at number 10. At number 11, I have Texas at 3-1. They beat up 0-4 Sam Houston this past weekend, 55-0. Ho-hum. Like I said, Arch Manning, I still think can be a very good quarterback, and he's still fairly inexperienced, but it's also you got to really, really like the college football season is not very long. You have to prove it. So Arch Manning has to go out there and prove it. He hasn't yet. I have him down at number 11. Number 12, I have Texas Tech. They beat Utah. They were the 17th ranked team coming into this past week. They beat Utah, who was the 16th ranked team in Utah, which is a really, really tough environment to play. That stadium gets rocking. They played a good coach in Kyle Whittingham at Utah, and they won 34-10. Now, they blew it open late in the fourth quarter. The game was closer than the final score would suggest. But yeah, Texas Tech, in a year when the Big 12 is always who's going to win the Big 12. Any team can win the Big 12. We can have like a 3-loss team in the conference championship game because there's so much parity. Texas Tech has separated themselves as the best team in the Big 12. And it's been really impressive to watch. And Texas 12 is a very stereotypical Big 12 team with the way they play offense. Like, they're high flying, they're fast, it's flashy, but it's working for them right now. And when I look at the rest of their schedule and what they're going to have to do in the Big 12, I do not see a loss. Now, anything can happen. I'm not saying they're going to go undefeated, but it's very tough to point at Texas Tech's schedule and see a loss there. I have them at number 12, and they honestly could be higher. And then my group of 5 teams, since we need one of those, I have Memphis 4-0, and they beat Arkansas this past weekend.
That's what I like to hear. I like teams that are 4-0 and maybe under the radar, but they're gathering steam.
Yeah, because for anyone who doesn't know how the college football playoff works is the top 5 highest ranked conference champions get auto bids. There are only 4 power conferences, so that means a group of 5 team is going to get a bid every year. That's why I give my group of 5 team. Right now, I have that team, the 4-0 Memphis Tigers, who just beat SEC opponent Arkansas this past weekend. Okay, I want to look ahead to, we're really running out of time. Let me look ahead to some of these games really quickly.
You have like 3 or 4 minutes.
All right. The big ones on the schedule this week, I'll only be able to do a few. LSU at Ole Miss. This is LSU's prove-it spot. We thought Clemson was their prove-it spot. It wasn't, because Clemson is not a very good ball team. This is a prove-it spot. They have to go to Oxford, Mississippi, play a team that plays Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss's teams don't really play a traditional hard style of SEC football. They play a little bit more, like I said, kind of flashy, kind of air attack, kind of fun offensively, if you will. And LSU, they're going into this game as betting underdogs, despite officially being the fourth ranked team in the nation. I think that's indicative of what we've seen since the Clemson game. This is one to keep your eye on. And in some ways, I'm not saying this because the season's too early, but in some ways, this could potentially work to be a playoff eliminator, because I think these two teams aren't the class of the SEC, and a loss here, when there's presumably going to be at least one more for each team on the schedule, could really set you back. So that's a game to keep your eye on. The other two, the 2 biggest ones of the weekend, probably Oregon at Penn State. Oregon, the 6th ranked team in the nation. Penn State number 3 officially. I have Penn State 5, Oregon 3. This is a huge game. This is a huge game for James Franklin. He cannot beat good opposition. He's got 1 win against an AP top 10 team. It was Ohio State in 2016. He simply cannot do it. He can never get over the hump. He has to play an Oregon team that has been beating the brakes off of everyone at home. If you're James Franklin and if you're Penn State, you have to win this game, but it's a tall task against a team that I think is the 3rd best team in the country. Final game before we get to that music, Alabama and Georgia, 5:30 as well, same time as Oregon, Penn State. This is just a classic SEC matchup. And we think of Georgia as once again being the class of the SEC, which I as well think they are to this point in the season. But this is Bama's chance to really right the ship. Because if Bama loses here, it's not over for them as a 2-loss team, but it gets very, very, very tough. And they have to go into Athens and play a really good Georgia team, and Kirby Smart knows that Alabama program really well, and they have a really tall task ahead of them, but it is going to be a very good game.
Well, look forward to it.
Yeah.
And plus you're off to the Elks Rough Riders game.
Yeah, I'm gonna be missing the Penn State, Oregon, and Bama Georgia games live. I'm going to the Rough Rider Elks game with my dad, little Father's Day present.
Nice.
But I'm going to record those games, and when I get back, I'm going to watch Oregon Penn State probably till about midnight. Then I'm going to watch Bama Georgia till probably about 3 in the morning. And I can't wait.
You've got it all planned out.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You're going to have some munchies, or is it just water?
I'll be drinking a lot of decaf coffee and probably some snacks.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to
low salt snacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if I do have salt, just flush it with water.
All right. Listen, we were on a tangent today. That happens sometimes. We're right back at the bricks tomorrow. We're going to talk about that McDavid line. Hopefully they'll come out flying. Going to be a big night for Oilers fans. Jason Krueger will look at last night and tonight for you straight ahead. Thanks for tuning in. Please enjoy your day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Play Alberta has an all-new app. Download it and get boosted odds on all the big games. Plus, play casino games, grab lottery tickets, and try some quick and easy instant games. All on your phone. PlayAlberta.ca. Oilers preseason continuing tonight against the Kraken at 7 p.m. at Rogers Place. McDavid, Draisaitl, and Bouchard are some of the regulars in tonight's lineup. Other NHL action on tonight as the Panthers head to Carolina to face off against the Hurricanes. The Blue Jackets host the Penguins in Columbus, and the Flames take on the Canucks in Vancouver. The Blue Jays have confirmed the signing of 18-year-old pitcher Moon Se-jun. Moon is the club's first Korean-born international signing, and Moon had a fantastic record in high school with 6-2, 2.18 ERA, and 0 home runs surrendered. The Blue Jays look to hold on to their division lead tonight, taking on the Red Sox with Max Scherzer on the mound at 5. Elsewhere in the majors, the Yankees continuing their series with the White Sox. The Guardians take on Detroit in a match for the lead in the AL Central, and the Mariners host the Rockies. The Pro Football Hall of Fame has announced its 2026 nominees, with Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald headlining the group as first-time eligible players. Other notable players in the first year of eligibility include Frank Gore, Shady McCoy, and Phil Rivers. Coming up, it's the Jason Krueger Show here on Sports 1440, and this has been your Sports 1440 update with Sam Wilmus.
Sports 1440.